Hello and welcome to Into Disco Tabletop Gaming. In this very short, brief video, we're checking out a new model. We don't have many new releases coming out this month for Games Workshop, but they're going to be showing off some models, and the first one that they've been showing off is Kritza the Rat Prince. I don't know how to pronounce it. We're going to go Kritza with a bit of flair, because let's have a look at him. Look at that. Look at that hair. This is we want to say vampire, but also not in the traditional sense. It's a weird thing. So this fancy dressed fellow with, I guess, lots of rat pelts, very odd. And his buckle belt looks like a rat skull too, very nice. He hails from the Virgos dynasty of Solar vampires. So this text is from the website, and it's very interesting because they're tying in this character with Ulfenkarn, which, if you've been paying attention, is the setting for the next Warhammer quest game, Cursed City. So it's very interesting. So he was once counted among the nobility of Ulfenkarn. Unfortunately, his attempts to secretly undermine the lord of the land led him to an ill fate, and he was horribly mauled by Radikar the Wolf, who, as we know now, is the big bad of the Cursed City. At least in the first box that's going to come out. So he was able to escape the city. He dumped himself into a corpse cart and played dead among the lifeless bodies it carried. I'm really loving how they're adding more narrative to the story, to these models, rather than like, here's a character. Like, for 40k, you get a lot of Space Marine characters, and they're like, it's a named character. We don't have any story. There you go. But I love how they've just added a little bit of flavor, so you get the idea of what this character is all about. But sadly, what happened, as he was probably just dying, he started to eat the blood of the rats. Because there were lots of rats in the corpse cart biting away on all the dead bodies. Unfortunately, it meant he got the blood kiss, and he became one of the Soul Blight. Oh, awkward. He's not really a vampire. He, let's be honest, he can turn into, it's so weird. He can turn into a horde of rats. Yeah. That's what he does. So it's still calling himself a vampire because it's someone who transforms, but it seems to be they're taking the whole like weird thing, like weird rats and werewolves and things like that, to encompass vampires or the blood kiss, if we can take it that way. So very interesting backstory, and I actually really like this model. It is a very simple, very plain model, but the character himself seems to have a lot of dignity, like upholding himself very straight and tall, with a nice little walking cane and a very big blade. Almost looks like a double-handed something. I don't know what they're called. Yeah, it really does look very dignified until you pan down and everything's all nice. He's been in the wars a bit. His cloak's a bit tattered. Oh, it's more tattered. Oh, what's that hanging out? Oh, it's a whole bunch of rat tails. 7 rat tails. In fact, it's this creepy, unsettling thing. It's very odd, and I love it. Sort of that horrifying thing that, out of the corner of your eye, you see something horrifying, but you're just not quite 100% sure. I could imagine that there's stories of this character just walking around like this, like an upstanding member of society, who looks a little bit pale, but maybe he's just old and a little bit sick. But the kids say that, oh, I swear I saw like a rat's tail, and they sort of freak out when they see him. Yeah, it's really strange. So in the front shot, you can't actually see any of the tails itself. It's only when you see the back. So really creepy. And from what I can tell from the base, it is one of the oval bases. Yeah, which is strange. So obviously this model isn't coming in Cursed City, even though he is very definitely tied to the Cursed City. Seems to be for some kind of odd vampire were army of some kind, which is interesting. I'm not quite sure where he's going to tie in. May not even be a new army coming out soon, but I get the feeling there probably might be. I think it's just going to be a character for one of the Broken Realms books upcoming over the next year or so. So yeah, I really do like this model. Very creepy. I'm not happy that it's on an oval base. I wish it was on more just a normal base, and somehow got the tails in there somehow. Even doesn't have to be as long. You could probably just get them a little bit shorter, just enough to be like, oh, something's not right there. Weird. or maybe even one flicking out around his feet, but I do like how they were just at the back. So if you see him on the front, you wouldn't see those rat tails. So very creepy, gross model, and I love it. So there we go. Let me know what you think. We're gonna see a lot more models coming out or getting revealed because, you know, the world is the way the world is at the moment. So there's no new releases for March for Games Workshop, which they did hint at the end of last year, that the release schedule is going to be a bit all over the place. Originally that they thought there'd only be new releases every fortnight. Now it turns out that it's a little bit later, and we're still waiting on a lot of models. So we're still waiting on the new, what do we call it? Death Guard model, which didn't come out with the Death Guard Codex, which was very odd. We're also waiting on the new Crusade book, which is very Death Guard orientated. And a few other bits and bits. I think there's also, there's a campaign book coming out too. I forgot about that, like a 2-part campaign book. I think it was 2-part campaign book. So we got a lot of stuff for 40k, and similarly, not as many things that we know about, but we know there's a lot of various different models coming for Age of Sigmar and other various games. So we don't know, like, it's just going to be one of those years, I think. It might get better as the year goes on, but everything's all up in the area. Anyway, I just started rambling about that for some reason. Whatever. Let me know if you like this model, and hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Hit that like button, leave comments, all that stuff. Share the video. Let's get this algorithm working for us so we can get the channel bigger and bigger, because we're getting close to 1,000 subs. Maybe if you watch this, we might be at 1,000 subs already. Who knows? But we're just starting to get a rolling now. That's it. Rambling again. I'm out. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.